Alright, let's not do that. Let's clear this up. Alright, so we've got our boys together. I don't think I can skip. Oh, I can skip. A bad end? Not necessarily. The quiet shortly comes to an end. Not necessarily a bad end, because my Watson's here with food. The sound of his heavy footsteps reached my ears first, halting my movements. I do want to see if we're going to get into an argument this time. Sure enough, when I glance up, I find him. Zach, just as he enters the park grounds, bags of convenience store food in hand. After last night's flight from Salemwell, we've elected to stay the night here, unsure if our own homes will still be safe. Normally, we'd both be adverse to the idea of spending the night outside like this, but panic and distress has tainted that decision. It's not like we've gotten an ounce of sleep anyway. On the off chance one of us did, it only lasted but a second, or it's a fitful one. But looking at him right now, from afar, it's easy to mistake him for someone who's simply out on an early morning stroll. His steps are careful and slow as he walks, the expression on his face composed, if not unruffled. His treads fill the atmosphere with a light air, temporarily easing off the disheartening mood. It's easy to pretend we're not knee-deep in a life-and-death situation the way he acts now. Easy to forget we've lost someone. If anything, it's only his appearance that betrays that mask. Slightly disheveled, bags under his eyes, an exhausted curve in his shoulders, and dragging footsteps. But the closer he gets, the more obvious these signs are to the naked eye. He tosses an energy drink my way the moment the distance allows it, and hands me the other bag he's holding before seating himself on a bench nearby. The scent of warm food immediately wafts from the bag when I open it, carried further by a passing breeze. Whatever sweet sauce they drizzled over this pork wannabe, it smells heavenly. Hell, even the sorry-looking vegetables seem appetizing. Despite myself, without even checking exactly what this is, hunger swiftly takes over every rational thought. I dig in without waiting for him to start. Although he appears to be of the same mind too, and soon enough he also starts with his. No casual talk while we fill our empty stomachs. Exhausted as we both are, food is something we can't forgo. Starvation dulls the thinking, weakens the body. If we are to survive this, we're gonna have to take care of ourselves first. I know that's what Rebecca would do. Isabella would never let me hear the end of it either if she were still here. In a matter of minutes, we're done, and dumping the empty cartons on a nearby waste bin. Along with it is the shift in the mood. Oh, come on, not you two, too. Back to dismal. Back to the problem at hand. The comfortable atmosphere from minutes ago was nice while it lasted. Admittedly, I've missed these kinds of moments between us. We never had the chance. Always busy on some project or work. The things we've taken for granted, now we're realizing how valuable they are. With two of us no longer here, the world has an awful sense of humor. While the one we've just had is short-lived, it's another thing I want to look forward to, if we ever free ourselves from this damned curse. I'd like to believe there's a way. For now, we have to focus back on the present. This. Dead people. The letter, the curse. It's not simple to bring these up, but necessary.
Where to now?
It's an innocent question at best, but he looks to me as if my face has all the answers in the world. I used to think so, back when I was at the top of my game and I'm still sure of everything. Now there's just uncertainty sullying whatever decision I come up with. At some point, logic has simply stopped working here and we've started grasping at straws. Along with exhaustion, fatigue, and stress, we have enough kindling to get a fire burning. Aww. Zach, don't turn away. The not-so-pleasant kind of fire.
We can't stay here. We'd be sitting ducks if we remain in one place.
What? So your plan is just to keep running like this?
We don't have much of a choice, Zach. Even our own homes aren't safe. Anytime, that woman, that thing might get us. Fuck. A zombie apocalypse would be better than this.
Simple as that, huh? You're quitting.
Nobody said that.
You know what Rebecca would say? What Isabella would say? If they're both here?
Well, they would be arguing back and forth right now, but go on.
There's no need to bring her up every time you're trying to prove a point, Zach.
Oh, but you know it. The way you are right now, she'd be disappointed. They both would be. Rebecca, for sure.
What do you want to hear from me then? If what happened last night didn't tell you how bad...
Ash, just because this whole mean ain't shaping up the way you want it to, doesn't mean there ain't an out.
I don't even know what I'm fucking doing, Zach! Rebecca's gone. Dead. Isabella's never coming back, no matter how many times I apologize to her. You want me to admit it? Fine. This whole mess is tearing me apart. You should have listened. Fuck, I should have listened. But I just stood there, just judging her, and I'm not even sure what I'm supposed to do right now.
Okay, I will admit that fight felt more natural than the fight between Bella and Ash when it was just the two of them. And I like this one because Zach got Ashton to admit some things to himself, so I'm okay with this one. We both falter to silence at my words, and an awkward, stifling mood descends between us. I do not mean to shout, to snap at him, to add to that kindling. Not in a moment when any time, anywhere, she, that damn ghost, might get to one of us. We're both in the same boat, yet here we are playing the blame game. Little by little, we're falling apart, caving into the pressure, to the bleak situation we're trapped in. Did that ghost mean for this to happen? To divide each of us so she can pick us off one by one right after? Who knows? Anything's possible now if her kind can exist. With the fire burning between us rising as high as it does now, I'm afraid, deathly afraid, that the possibility might come sooner than I can imagine all of this out. Fuck, I still can't think straight. I can't even believe the next words coming out of my own mouth. That out of everyone, I have to be the one saying these to him. This is more his forte than mine. Keeping the peace, placating everyone while I unintentionally aggravate people with badly chosen words. Funny how fast the tables have been turned after just one unfortunate incident. How am I even supposed to cope?
I swear, I'll get us out of this mess. But if we want to make it out of this in one piece, we're gonna have to calm down first.
After spending the night at the local park, Ashton and Zachary try to figure out what their next step will be. However, coupled with stress and the guilt Ashton had been carrying with him, their conversation quickly went downhill. In the end, Ashton walked out, suggesting they cool their heads first. Before my own temper flares, I walk away and slide back into my car. If the door slams with more force than needed, I'd like to blame it on the pent-up anger boiling up in me. I'm not even sure what or who I am angry at. The ghost? At his sudden outburst? Or maybe at myself for being this useless? Because despite him not saying anything, I know, goddammit, he's still counting on me. In spite of my failures, or every harsh word I've uttered, or how unbearable I can be as a friend. It's there when the tension after the argument finally breaks, and he follows me and gets in the car. It's in concerned glances he shoots my way when I start the engine without a word and drive off. It's in his silence. A heavy gift, his unwavering trust. Yet it's one I'm more than willing to carry, even through my own exhaustion, if only to keep him safe. In this city of 68,000 strangers, he's the only one I have left. Though, in all seriousness, a good rest is still our best bet for now. Thinking with an exhausted brain is almost as good as running around in circles. We might as well just throw ourselves at that ghost and be done with this. Okay, so we're going to the pub. We can skip a little bit. Awesome.
You trying to drink your worries away? Like last time? That was screwed up. This one? Screwed up? Not by a mile. It's too early to say. You've still got several years ahead of you, Holmes. Take it easy.
Oh, gee. I wish. Let's see. I just wanted to see if there was more context to this, but not really.
But some things change, eh? It has been years, and you were a kid back then. You know, the sort that's a bit unsure, making all the horrible decisions in life he'd eventually be embarrassed to talk about.
Thanks.
You never stop calling me kid, though.
Well, you still are. It's just that this time, you're sure of who that badge and gun is for. What was it you police types usually say? To protect and serve, yeah?
A significant pause follows at its heels. From both of us, as he allows its meaning to sink in and spur something in me, stirring a feeling both heavy and forceful, but not completely unwelcome. Familiar. Alright. After the argument at the park, Ashton took Zachary someplace where they could rest. G welcomed them to his pub without question. While he was sleeping, the detective and the bartender had a little chat about the past and what had changed over the years. Okay, so we're gonna chat with you, for the sake of the ones we've lost. It's just funny how it took all of this to spur these kinds of thoughts in me. I can't even remember the last time something like it has occurred to me. For some reason, after seeing one harrowing thing after another, I've simply forgotten.
Why are you suddenly smiling like that?
Huh? Oh, no, I was just thinking about something.
Well, it better be something that'll get us out of this mess.
What makes you think I know how to fix this? Until 2 days ago, I didn't even believe a word you guys have been telling me. Zach, I function better when I'm dealing with homicide cases. Hell, feel free to throw in the usual robbery and missing persons case into the mix. I don't care. Give me a few days and I'll give you a lead. This isn't how I operate. This isn't what I'm good at. For all you know, I might even end up getting us killed. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Well, the fact that you're frustrated but still trying already means something, Ash. Besides, you don't make that face unless you already have an idea. And it can't be any worse than this. Maybe. What's on your mind, Ash?
There really is something about Z-Man.
G will keep an eye on you.
Okay, so he's just kind of filling him in on his plan.
If you need anything, that woman shows up, just holler. He'll help out, no questions asked. You don't even need to explain anything.
He's not willing to concede, not from the manner he grips his knees or the rigid set to his jaw.
I'm going with you. You can't go in there alone, Ash. I heard something. The morning I was there, I heard someone scream, and then there was a woman crying, and I don't know what's going on inside that mansion, but I am telling you, you shouldn't face whatever's inside alone.
Before I can stop myself, a heavy breath escapes from my mouth. Okay, we might be caught up again. Yeah. But Z-Man, you have to live. It's your time. Live when I cannot.
This won't really bring them back.
I know.
Maybe this is you trying to make amends, or whatever. I don't know. You're making your own decisions here. But if something happens to you, it'll be just that. You'll just be another dead body out there. Please, don't do something like this.
Don't worry, I'm not stupid enough to get myself killed.
Ha!
I just want things to go back to normal, Zach.
Another dead air follows at the heels of that one admission. The meaning of my words, too heavy, too striking, it stuns us into another lull. Optimism aside, we're both aware that's impossible. We're going to have to deal with the trauma right after. There will be the images, the voices whispering inside our heads, the foreboding feeling, the stench of blood, gore, and death trailing after us. We may survive this, but those things, they will remain in us for a long time. One does not survive something like this without it leaving something in you. Just the mere thought of what might come right after makes me dread it. What this has changed in all of us. But I suppose that outcome is more acceptable. The lesser of two evils. Okay, we might be. Yeah, we're good. Zach, do you want a hug too before I go? Friendship. Galloway Shaw's Monday night crowd, although small and barely occupies a quarter of the whole pub, provides ample enough cover for anyone who wishes to leave the place unnoticed. Just exactly what I need tonight. With the lively music and chatter, slipping out, mostly unseen, becomes a piece of cake. Without much trouble, soon enough, I find myself standing outside under the chilly Luxburn night. A gust of wind picks up shortly after I step out, carrying the telltale smell of an impending rain. I'll give it about an hour or two before it starts. From the looks of it, tonight will be another downpour. Maybe even stronger than the one we've had this morning. On instinct, I hunch further into my jacket, hugging its thick material closer to my body while I weave my way through the lines of empty cars in the parking lot. 4 hours is all I'm giving myself to get this done. 3, if I'm inclined to go by the rules Z-Man set, but when have I ever? Regardless of how generous that is, each second's just as important as the next. With a brief detour needed, I can't waste time dallying here. If this is all connected, I need that damn piece of paper with me, however ridiculous it sounds. Unfortunately, it's still in the evidence locker at the precinct. Or maybe that's a stroke of luck on its own. I'll find out soon enough. Taking out evidence from my own department under a pretense is something I don't do every day. Or ever. But priorities, lives at stake. So I hurry, one footstep over the other, echoing as I make a beeline for my car. But as with every plan, problems crop up at the last second. It's practically a universal rule. And it does. In the form of a lone figure waiting for me next to my car. Alright, let's hug it out, bro. Zach turns just as I near, the corners of his mouth quirking up in a wry smile. He offers no greeting except for a quick acknowledging tilt of his head. Even as my pace slows and I look at him with all the unvoiced questions in my eyes, he remains wordless. Merely throwing his head back and shifting his attention up at the starless sky when I come up to stand beside him. Another gust of wind blows as he breathes out a sigh, weary, thick with something close to resignation. The breeze carries all of it away while he folds his arms closer to himself to keep warm, which raises the question why he's out here. The air's already heavy with the promise of rain. With clouds obscuring the view, there's really nothing left to look at but a dark blanket of nothingness. Still, he stands here as if he's intentionally waiting for everything to fall. That or he's here for some other reason.
Are you really sure this is the best you can come up with?
My hand stops a few centimeters short of nudging the door to my car open. Even above the howling winds, his words strike true. Booming, echoing, spurring every doubts within me, and for a long moment I remain silent. How do you answer that when you have no idea yourself?
Ashton, if you ain't...
I don't know, okay? But this is still better than standing around here. Or chasing after every person listed in those papers we found. This is the closest thing we have to a solid lead. Don't worry, I'll be back before you know it.
3 hours.
Ash.
I said 4.
No, 3. Don't negotiate.
That's right, Z-Man.
You're no good to anyone dead.
Glad to know someone's going to miss me.
Just leave, you jackass.
Aw, just a shoulder squeeze. Bruh. Ah, look at that face. Ashton left for the mansion at nightfall, but when he got to his car, he found Zachary waiting for him. Although he had no intention of stopping him, he did express his doubts about the detective's plans and reminded him of their agreed time limit. I give his shoulder a reassuring squeeze before slipping inside my car. There's a worried crease between his eyebrows as the door closes behind me with a soft thud. Bleak as it is, it's the last thing I commit to memory when I drive off. One last reason to be optimistic. Alright, let's snitch that letter. And get going to where we need to be. I really want to know if, hi Marianne, if Zachary's going to save Ashton from torture or not. Very curious about that indeed. Bella makes sense. But as for Zach...
Ashton Frey!
Oh. Hi, Bella, from beyond. Are you gonna zap this, butler boy from beyond the veil? I'm okay with that. Hearing that voice is as if I've been doused with a bucket full of ice-cold water. Familiar. Too familiar. And more importantly, it shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be hearing it here. She shouldn't be here. She's gone. Yet it seems a part of me still hangs on to a sliver of hope that she'll be here. So without sparing it some thorough thought, I snap my eyes open. Of course there's no one.
Did you really think she'd be here?
Rude ghost is rude. except for the murmur of voices in my ears, whispering phrases as sharp as a blade, each one as scathing as the next. Words that, although I know my own friends won't ever utter, still digs a deep wound, seeping into me as if there's simply another truth.
It's useless, Ashton Frey.
But repeat a lie often enough and it becomes the truth, they say. And slowly a part of me is starting to believe it. Damn it!
You are going to die.
Shut up.
I'm being choked.
I'm surprised you're still awake.
Hi. Another bout of pain erupts in my side, cutting off my words. A cry of agony bursts from my mouth. I can taste blood in my tongue as I heave, attempting to get in as much air despite the towel still coiled around my neck.
You bastard!
You're going to lose air quickly that way, Dummkopf. Better keep it shut.
Then he laughs. Too cruel, too unforgiving. The way each note beats against my ears, in spite of the warmth in them, send chills down my spine. This is a man whose hands have already been stained with blood before. He won't hesitate.
You are going to die alone.
Panic surges within me. Out of some instinct and desire to survive, I ducked. Hard, pulling him forward with me and quickly reaching over my shoulder to grab at his arm. Oh! Woo! Nicely done! Bravo! Bravo indeed, I say. And once again, Bella from beyond, coming to spur you on when you need it most. And throwing him over my shoulder with as much strength I can muster. Something whizzes against my ears. The towel on my neck loosens. My head is pounding. In a rush of air, he lands back first on the floor with a heavy slap. Before he can even recover or make a grab at me, I'm drawing back my arm and bringing my fist down on his face. There's a moment of silence. Fuck, I can barely keep my eyes open. But in the next second, his grip on me loosens. He's out. And I'm... Breathe that air, my friend. You earned it. Shattered glasses. Ashton attempted to fight back, but his attacker quickly disarmed him, looping a towel around his neck and strangling him. But just when he was about to lose consciousness, a familiar voice called out to him. I collapse on the floor, dazed and gasping for air. From my peripheral, through the haze of blood rushing and sound slowly filtering back, the butler lays still. Knocked unconscious by a man half his size and half breathing.
He'll be out for a while.
I have no idea whether I should laugh or cry at that. But it's done, and slowly, every tense muscle in my body eases. A long, gradual process of the tension lifting. For countless seconds I remain quiet, with only my short gasps and sighs to fill the silence, allowing the adrenaline ebb away and my breathing to slow. Not a true repose by any means, but simply a brief respite. There's still the curse. I'm still inside the mansion, in imminent danger. I still have no idea how to fix this. Outside, the rain seems to only intensify. Lightning flashes fleetingly somewhere, white and piercing, and the sky rumbles. No rest for the wicked. Well, so Zach didn't come and save us. That was interesting. I stir minutes later, once recovered, having regained some semblance of sense and strength. Breathing still hurts, but it's bearable, as is moving, although every small motion causes a wince. There will be bruising tomorrow. I can manage. Retrieving my gun from under the bed is easy, but only with some effort I am able to drag an unconscious man to the far end of the room, snapping one end of a handcuff on his wrist while fastening the other on the bed frame. That should keep him restrained for a few hours, while I'm free to get the fuck out of here and do what I've come here for. That isn't to say I'm all better. I still feel shaky after what happened. Everything still hurts, but this is a significant improvement from my previous predicament. Without another look back, I close the room behind me, ignoring the whispers and desperate cries still ringing in my ears. Power still hasn't come back when I make my way downstairs. Tricky, considering the stairs to the attic are a bit old. One misstep and anyone might end up slipping and falling, You're lucky if that's all that'll happen to you.
With the stairs this steep, a broken neck is a likely outcome.
With nothing to guide me through the darkness, I have to feel my way down. Carefully listening for each creak and noise, checking each step I land on before placing a foot on it. Right on cue, the same board I'm stepping on creaks and suddenly breaks, the pieces falling somewhere with a dull thunk.
Oh shit. Scumbag wouldn't be too happy about that. Ow, my foot.
Outside, the winds have intensified. Even from here, I can hear the gusts battering the window in the attic. It makes you wonder why up until now the only person I've encountered from this house is the butler. Although to some degree that makes sense. He is in charge of running the place. Where are the other servants, though? In this storm, wouldn't anyone want to stay inside? A likely assumption is they're all asleep. The route I've taken doesn't really pass by the rooms they've likely assigned as the servants' quarters. However, they have also heightened security. I've brushed it off earlier, thinking they'll be posted a lot closer to where the master's rooms are, but the second floor is devoid of anyone as well. As if every inhabitant of this place has suddenly disappeared overnight. More importantly, where's that scumbag? I don't like this. I don't like this at all. The fact that I'm here right in the fucking middle of it makes me all the more queasy. And that feeling only escalates once I reach the landing and swing the door open. Only to be greeted by the kitchen. Pots, pans, and all. There's confusion as I look wildly around the place, wordlessly taking in my surroundings. With each turn and shift of my eyes, apprehension slowly dawns on me like a bag of bricks. Wasn't that door supposed to open to a hallway? But the pressing matter right now is... Hi, there you are. That's where you've been hiding. In one corner, Zach watches almost as surprised to see me. Relieved as I am that he has had the sense not to venture deeper into the mansion, I can't keep but roll my eyes at him.
Zach, I said 4 hours.
It's been more than that. I think. But that's besides the point. Even G's growing worried.
It's been more than that, I think.
How did you even get in here?
We both exchange a look. One that I absolutely don't like.
I heard a scream, Ash. Led me here.
Oh, that's not good. Without warning, the door behind me slams shut.
We need to get out of here.
And Zach, you have to stop listening to screams in other people's houses. Screw right. I need to get him out of here. Lucky we're in the kitchen and we have 2 ways out. The back door and the cellar offers. Except the hatch won't budge when I pull at it, and neither does the back door, as if something has locked it firmly on the other side. Zach also gives it a few tries, but even with the big guy's strength, it won't open. There's a long bout of silence in which we simply look at each other, likely sharing the same thoughts. We're trapped. Something or someone has intentionally led us here. Fuck. In that same moment, once realization dawns in, something shifts again. Blood. Drip, drip, drip of blood. Okay. So that's the same. Time to go. Follow me.
You will eventually die because of you.
Oh, hush you.
And you are going to die alone.
You can't use Zach against me.
Shut your fucking mouth.
You know it's true, though.
All of it. It's why all you can do is tell us to shut up. You don't want to hear a single word, because you're already aware of it. You can't even admit it to yourself. Who's the coward now?
But no matter how hard you try, you're not gonna be able to save anyone.
Okay. Good talk, guys. Briefly, Zach pauses mid-climb and looks back at me, asking for some sort of a confirmation.
Go ahead. I'll watch your back.
Surprisingly, he follows without any protests. Not that there's any need to. Sometime after entering this room, the whole place has calmed down. No wails, no whispers, just a silence too deafening. But I'm not letting my guard down until he's on the other side of this nightmare, safe. For all I know, this may just be a calm before another storm. Without further incident, however, Zach makes it to the other side, and I'm following after him. However odd this hush is, I turn my back from it and climb up. It's a tight fit, but I manage to squeeze myself in. The unease remains, though. Maybe it's the adrenaline still coursing through me, or how easy everything has been after living through that nightmare, fleeting as it is. Okay, I think we're back. Yeah. It's sight enough to lodge a painful thorn up my throat. I've been too complacent, too focused on other things, that I've completely set aside the fact the scumbag will not be too pleased to see us here without knowing our reasons. But even with those good intentions, curses, and ghostly apparitions aside, we're still trespassing in his home. The question is, if he's even aware that the whole of his household has somehow disappeared and he might be the only one here. Likely not. Fuck.
And you. Again. How many times do you have to come back to this place?
I know, right?
Sir, this isn't what you're thinking. Something ain't right here.
Well, obviously, people are trespassing in my home.
Obviously!
What's your excuse? Checking back if your clients are doing okay? Is that it? Is this what this is? Oh, we're doing good, by the way.
Please, sir.
Oh, please what?
We ain't here to harm you or anything. We're just here to help.
Not a good excuse, especially coming from you. Let's simplify it. You people are the ones who need to get out of my sight. I swear the people of this city need to be taught the meaning of privacy. This is how you want to start the week. Why don't we just go with a bloody massacre if we want to surprise people in their homes, huh?
Casually, he waves the handgun at him as if it's just a mere toy and his words are no threat. The safety's off on his. Nothing stopping him from pushing through with his words. Call me paranoid, but at the slight gesture I draw my own and level it at him, finger on the trigger and ready to release the safety catch in case things go south. Alright. Well, Zach, appreciate you trying to de-escalate things there, but this boy ain't having none of it. Alright. Goodbye, Ashton.
Sorry about this. I really don't have time for you.
Bang bang. Alright. Flashing fleetingly, yet burning itself in my mind. Bearing down on me with the weight of its accompanying emotions like they are my own. All from a time long gone and a life that was never mine. Over and over, along with every voice, every whispers, they shout, they cry, they wail, all asking for respite from an eternal torment. However, there's no time to make sense of all of it. Amidst the discord and the noise, something whizzes past by. Too close, too swift. A brief, keen blur that barely registers in my eyes. Like an arrow quickly finding its mark and heading straight for...
Zach!
Oh man, this ghost knows how to go for what hurts. So rude. Time slows to a stop. In one moment of clarity, my body moves on its own. Heart pounding hard against my ears, blood rushing through every vein. Spurred only by adrenaline in a desperate bid to reach him, and... I don't even get to yell for him a second time. I don't even get to call his name.
Ash!
Eesh. An acute pain bursts through my chest in the next instant. All of a sudden, everything around me feels too sharp. Every edge, every point. Even the act of drawing a deep breath alone stings and burns my lungs, while an intense ache slowly spreads throughout my whole body. Numb. I feel numb. A hand comes away bleeding, shaking, while I can only let out a wet, ragged laugh. Soon, without warning, I'm going down on my knees, and the whole world is pitching sideways. An arm, strong and steady, is on me the second I stumble back, catching my fall. Ah, this music. Oh no, Zach. I'm so sorry. You lost your homes. Not wanting to risk anything, Ashton quickly disarmed Luke in 2 shots. But before he could move to tackle him, a wail echoed throughout the mansion. In the haze of memories and voices, he noticed something fly by, rapidly heading towards Zachary. His body moved on its own. Zach has always been there, after all. Even now, nothing has changed.
Ashton?
Oh, the tears! My boy. His hands are shaking as he looks at me with dread. A pang of regret hits me at the sight of it.
Sorry, Z-Man.
The achievement is called Sorry, Z-Man. Eh.
Hey, bro. Stop talking, will you? This isn't...
It seems this will be the last time anyone will call you that.
Oh, stop my heart. There won't be anyone to cause you trouble anymore.
Bro, this ain't the time to be. Just stop it with the jokes!
Cautiously, despite the stabbing ache shooting up at every movement, I reach a trembling hand up to bump a fist against his chest. Just like the old times. My arm never makes it far, however. Midway, he meets my hand, catching it in a tight grip, as if to still hold on to a life slowly slipping away. Not that he will be able to. The pain is easing. Everything's already going cold.
Don't worry, bro. We'll get you to a hospital. Just don't move, okay? You're gonna make it worse. You'll be fine. You can call me. Man, you can call me Z-Man all you like. After you're fine. We'll get you help.
I'd like to agree with that on him. Reassure him. But I've gone through a lot. Survived a lot of shit. It doesn't take a genius to figure out that I'm done for. Whatever hit me, a hole to the chest is fatal enough. I don't think I'm going to bounce back from this. I'm dying.
I'm sorry.
I should be afraid in this moment. Yet I'm not. No fear. No dread. Just an acceptance. And a deep regret as she appears before us, her voice echoing throughout the foyer. Hi. Still messing up my CG, eh? So, I guess this time you just walked out of the baby's room into here, probably. At the top of the staircase, Hana Wright stands, pale as death and expression eerily calm. A cold chill runs up my spine at the sight. The woman just lingers there, a poor mimicry of life, a chilling smile on her face. Without a doubt, it's her.
I told you, didn't I? Everything you're doing is useless, Ashton Frey. And now, you're dying. Meddlesome fool.
Hannah? You're not supposed to be here.
Oh, Luke, darling, my love. You look so upset. Are you not happy to see me?
Outside, another streak of lightning flashes and a clap of thunder ripples across the sky. Here, there's only a whispered sigh, a fading breath, and a lone heart that beats hard one last time. She got one thing wrong, though. I did not die alone. Oof. Alright. A memory fragment. Okay, I wanted to get here and start skipping. Before I comment on how amazing Zach's voice actor did all those lines. He sounded legitimately heartbroken and grieving during all of that. That was very well done. That got me. That got me probably about as bad as Bella's goodbye to Ashton as well. So, whew. Yeah, this run has certainly been full of a lot more feels than our Hana Alive run. Alright, apparently I'm throwing my phone to the butler. Let's just skip that. Before there are any more protests, I pull my mobile out of my pocket and toss it his way. By the time he catches it, I'm already halfway out the door.
I'm going out for some fresh air.
Fresh air. Having no obligations today, Luke made plans on how to take care of the situation with Hana without risking the authorities or anyone else finding out. In the end, he passed the work off to his butler, trusting him to get it done as clean and efficient as possible.
If anybody calls, tell them they can sod off and bother me another day.
Alright. Well, time to run into our lady ghost. Oh, right, because she'll comment on Hana's death, probably, but nobody knows this time. I can feel the blood leaving my face. We had sent the others away for this exact reason. To give us time to cover up her disappearance, her corpse even. But if she knew about it, well, she has to be taken care of.
What? How did you?
Without drawing too much attention to it, I reached for the mobile in my pocket. But one press would be all it takes to call the other man here so that we can get rid of the pest. I'd do it myself, but I'm unarmed, near defenseless. But my phone isn't here.
I'm going out for some fresh air. If anybody calls, tell them they can sod off and bother me another day.
Whoops. Of course, of all the time for me to ditch the bloody thing. But I should be able to take care of one woman, right? There's nobody but Johans and I on the property, far removed from the village and the rest of society. A fist to the throat, a quick twist of the neck, a blade to the jugular. Though, forget that last one. Unfortunate for me, I don't have my knife either. But looking back at her, I freeze in place.
Is something the matter? You look a fright.
No, you're just loud. What the fuck? I think it's time to go. You know, I think it's time I'd be on my way. Goodbye. You look a fright. Alright. I don't care enough to show any sign that I've heard him, retreating into the master bedroom without another word. The bouquet of daffodils is quickly placed before the nursery door. Interesting. It's almost hilarious how I'm now worried about a woman more than I am with the fact that there's a corpse in the next room. But even as worry for her still keeps me on edge, I feel exhaustion come over me. Not bothering to strip off my clothes, I fall onto the bed, tired and alone. Okay, this is gonna be different. I'm like, shouldn't it be smelling really bad by now? The sickly sweet scent wafting in from the nursery has kept me awake through most of the night. It's intoxicating and nauseating in equal parts. The body has yet to be disposed of. Mostly my fault. I have too much to take into account before I rush to a decision. Though perhaps this whole ordeal is being made complex by my sleep-addled brain. I can't be bothered to rise from the bed even when the sun, what little there seems to be today, peeks through the curtains. Yeah, that's some sunny weather. I don't want to handle any of it. Not Hana's body, not the security, not Kylie visiting. Right now, all I want to do is actually get some sleep. Still, the thought of that woman from yesterday, and the danger that she presented, was enough to keep me from even trying. So, suffice to say, I'm not very happy that anyone would dare to separate me from my true love, the bed. The rain that had started sometime during the night didn't help the mood. Okay, maybe it helps just a little. Are we back? Yes, we're back. Who's not welcome in this home? The police. They are not welcome in this home. The niggling voice in the back of my head starts loudly, though its presence is both unwanted and unnecessary.
If they come to investigate her disappearance, you need to make a decision. What will we be doing with the madam?
Because if they come to investigate her disappearance, well, we don't want them snooping about the house. Not until dearest Hana is taken care of, because I'm the fool who can't let her go. It's ridiculous that I'm so sentimental about something that amounts to nothing more than rotting meat. Ew. As it is, the body is still decomposing on the inside, internal organs being the first to go. If anybody found her, they might still think that she's only sleeping. First sign of flies and maggots aside, anyway. It's been less than 48 hours, but give it a day or two and the thing will only get worse. My bedroom already smells like rotting fruit. The scent is faint and lingering. It's persistent, even with all that Johans has done to decontaminate the place without touching the body itself.
Leave it for tonight. I'll think of something by then. Until then, I want you on top of everything. Now, if we're done here, I'd like to go back to sleep and...
Where are you?
Ah! Hi, Kylie.
Tio, where is Tia? She's still sleeping in bed again? Is she gonna join us later?
I'll be lying if I say I'm not worried about going on with this line of questioning. I honestly am not expecting her to ask about her godmother. For all that Hana was her actual godparent, she isn't as fond of her as she is of me. For a moment, paranoia fills my mind. It's suspicious of her to ask about a dead woman for no reason. I do realize this is ridiculous to think a child is a threat to me. Her father might be putting her up to it, to find dirt on me, my mind supplies. I'm not too disillusioned to think that the people working under me are actually loyal to any extent. I can't stop myself from being defensive.
What do you care? You've never asked for her before.
Mama's been asking about her. She hasn't visited for a while.
There's a shrug, and some sense to her words. If that doesn't relieve some of the tension from me, nothing else will.
I don't know where she is, Munchkin. She's probably off somewhere doing grown-up things.
That makes sense. Tia does a lot of boring grown-up stuff. There's always a boring grown-up parties. You must be happy you're not doing a boring grown-up thing right now thanks to me.
Hey, I'm doing a grown-up thing. I'm taking care of you, aren't I, you little rugrat?
I'm still on edge, but it's easy enough to put on a carefree mask once I get a grip of myself. The roll of her eyes and the way she looks at my doodles in a false serious manner helps too.
Oh, your drawing doesn't look grown-up to me.
Dang, get roasted. Nevertheless, like any child her age, the line of questioning doesn't exactly stop.
Is Tia still asleep? I want to give her this pretty drawing I made for her.
And I know that they can't help it, that they don't know where to cross the line out of genuine and innocent curiosity. Yet that doesn't stop me from snapping.
Tia isn't here, all right?
So where is Tia?
She's not anywhere that I know of. Probably at another party, shaking hands and all that.
But she's coming home soon at least, right, Tio?
Enough, you little brat! Can we just...
That look. I don't know where Hana is. That's the official excuse for when her disappearance is looked into. It's easier to claim ignorance, to have a lack of liability if foul play is ever suspected. There would be no mens rea or actus reus if I spin the whole affair and make myself the clueless bystander. It'll be easier to manipulate the story if I remove myself from it, whichever way we choose to deal with this mess. But I've been blindsided by the interrogation of a child. Whispers in my ear conspire.
Silence her.
Oh, never mind. Because I thought she was your friend, and then I remembered the ending after the credits.
Enter.
I have to shake my head to clear away the thoughts. She didn't deserve my anger for such innocent questions. Because this is just a kid. This is Kylie, for fuck's sake. I don't need to silence her. I had to...
Let's just have fun, all right? I'm so sorry, Kylie. Please don't cry. I didn't mean to.
I raise both my hands in a non-threatening manner, trying to placate her, only for her to take a step away, wide-eyed and terrified. This look on her face just crushes something in me. She doesn't let me say anything more than that before she runs away, crying about wanting to call her father, about wanting to go home. Her crayons and toys lay strewn about, forgotten. Even Narcissa is left behind. She never leaves her doll behind if she can help it, and now it's looking at me, accusing. I've never shouted at her before. I had no right to. And, even if I want to deny it, some part of me was about to raise my hand to her, when I promised a long time ago that I would never harm a child. Miss Pink was wrong about me, it looks like. I'm a horrible guardian. I'm not good with kids at all. Or good, period. I just can't help this awful energy that's taken over me. I feel so angry and tense and...
Ah, Sisa, what is wrong with me? Am I going mad?
He asked the creepy doll. Interesting. With Hana gone and his butler intentionally staying out of sight, Luke was left alone to watch over his godchild, Kylie Suarez. However, what was supposed to be a simple babysitting turned awkward when the precocious child began asking questions. I don't think I can spend any more time with Kylie, considering how high-strung I feel. So, it is a good thing that Suarez came for her as soon as I've called. Alright. So he got his daughter out of there for now. Back through the past we go. And I'm running away at the speed of light. Okay. Breathing a momentary sigh of relief, I sit down on the bed while the other man looks out in the balcony and closes the door behind him.
The balcony is clear.
And he's thorough, looking in the closets and under the bed, even going so far as to looking in the nursery, but it is with that he comes back silent. Johan's eyes scan the room warily, searching to see if he missed something.
What have you done with the madam?
Uh-oh.
What do you mean?
Okay, just one what do you mean?
The body. It isn't there.
What? Last I checked, it's still there. It's not like anybody knows where the fucking body is. Did it just stand up and walk away? Got tired of being dead and decided to unkill itself?
Basically. It isn't there. That must mean it's somewhere else. And the house is crawling with guards, none of who knew that Hana is already dead. I feel the color drain from my face, but before I can take a step out, he raises a hand to stop me from charging out there.
Stay.
Stay?
Like a good little dog!
Do you see the problem we have here, Shroken? Are your eyes open, Shroken? Do you see the problem we're having here, Shroken?
Shroken!
With my own eyes.
What the bloody fuck are you still doing there, then? Hana's corpse. A corpse is missing. If anyone else finds that bloody body, we are going to have an even bigger problem than Suarez's company leak.
The short inhales of breath between even bigger problem. So good.
Which is why I'm asking you to calm down. This isn't...
You do not understand, do you? Okay, everything is at stake here.
Money, reputation, connections, the company I've built. Everything. I'm getting my knife. There's no second thought as I reach under my side of the bed and pull out one of my knives. I have no doubt that the other man can take me on if we are both unarmed, but with this I can even the field. Or at least deter him from escalating the situation and risking hurting either of us.
I'm going out there to look for that damn fucking body, and you're either with me or you're fucking fired! I am not risking anything. I am not losing everything.
Still, like a stubborn mule, he refuses to budge from the door. There's a withering look on him that I try to match. One that somehow I am losing fast to, even with him not saying a word yet.
Can you see yourself in the mirror right now? You're in no proper state to go looking for anyone, let alone your wife's dead body. If it'll make you happy, I will do the looking. But please, and don't make me repeat this, stay where it's safe, where security can find you. We already have one matter to be worried about. Please don't add another one to it.
Perhaps it is his tone. In spite of his general disdain for virtually everything that has to do with me, I'd like to think that over the years he has grown some sense of duty to his employer at least. Much as I loathe to admit this, I trust him over any other servant in this house. So an acquiesce.
You have 2 hours, Shroken. I don't think it'll take that long to find one lifeless fucking corpse in this godforsaken house. 2 hours. Any more than that, I'll do it my fucking self.
Of course.
Despite his words, he lingers. If I didn't know any better, I'd say he wants to make sure I get in that damn bed and sleep before he turns away from me. What am I, a child? Watching me and treating me like one. There's the reason why we will never get along.
Well, what are you waiting for?
Nothing. I just hope you're happy.
Verily, now mush!
As you wish.
And that was the last thing we ever heard Shrokin say to us. Only then does he seem to get the hint. He Princess Brided us right before the end. Let's see. Bumping into Luke after his flight from the ballroom, Johans quickly ushered the paranoid man to his room while the house's security looked for the trespasser. Before leaving his master, Johann scoured the place, only to find Hanna's corpse missing from the nursery. Okay. With a nod, he leaves, locks and closes the door behind him. For a moment, I still hear his voice while he gives the guards outside firm instructions, then a hush as soon as he departs and his footsteps fade away. One that doesn't quite last. As quickly as the silence settles, lightning flashes across the sky, followed immediately by the loud boom of thunder. And that wanker strikes so dangerously close that I can feel the electricity in the air. The power goes out not a second later, and I feel as if I'm being mocked by whatever greater power there is. All is deathly still for a moment, but soon the rain starts once again. Far heavier than the light drizzle from this morning, its pitter-patter hitting hard against this place's roof. Despite the noise, I find myself drawn to my bed, exhausted, hoping for a little nap. I'm safe here. Shrokin will find her, and when I wake, I won't have anything to worry about. It does not take long. Once my head hits the pillow, in a matter of minutes, darkness claims me, bringing with it laughters and whispers of a twisted love from a time long gone. Alright. Let us fast forward. Let the butler take care of that little problem with Hanna while Hanna's body is still missing. Hanna's still missing, and the trespasser's still out there.
You do not need her. I am here. We are here. This is where your home is. Where you belong. For all that blood you shed. Come back to us.
How long has it been since? Johans has never taken this long before.
Surely there should have been an update by now. Right?
So why isn't there?
Please don't go.
Bloody hell, the cretins I've surrounded myself with.
And isn't that enough reason to force myself out of bed? As it has always been the case. There. Though the delay is understandable if he went looking for Hanna as he promised. But bloody hell, my safety's also at stake here. Nah, I'm going out. Ah. We've caught up, so it would seem. Alright. And from where oops. Banging my desk. And from where I stand at the top of the stairs, I can easily make out his form, recognize him even. It's all gone crazy when another intruder come into my house. I'm no stranger to a cop playing dirty. The smart ones knew that neither life nor criminals are going to play fair. And if one of this wog's sort is in on this, I'm not surprised too. To top it all off, he has the nerve to look surprised when I announce my presence.
Well, what have we here? If I were any less sober, I'd say this is the beginning of a joke.
Bloody trespassers, what is wrong with the people of this city? Did they really think I'll be fine with them walking into my home like this? What is he even doing in here? If I didn't know any better, he might also be behind Hanna's disappearance.
That's right, my love.
He must have a motive.
Make them pay.
And it better be a good one.
For all the wrong they've done to us.
Or a bullet to the head is the least he will deserve.
Let's see. A photographer walks into a mansion.
A mansion. Thunder crackles once again, cutting me off. This time its sound hits close enough that it nearly feels as if the windows and the ground itself are rumbling. All is deathly still for a moment. I don't let it stop me, however, as I slowly make my way towards him. Taking one careful step at a time, relishing the expression of fear in his eyes. I suppose there's something ominous in this setting, with the heavy rain outside and the lack of light here. I kinda like it, to be honest. Add something to the atmosphere. I suppose I must look like the villain now. But short of me getting close to him, a noise to my left distracts me, briefly halting my movements while curiosity takes over every murmurs in my head. And it's a good thing, perhaps, that I did, because as soon as I look up, I see him. Another trespasser. Great. Just as he's about to jump down from furniture that has somehow ended up piled and blocking the door to the parlor. What happened there? And did he really think it's all right to do that in other people's house? Lout.
Teach him, my lord. Put him in his place.
My hand's already moving before any rationale can stop me, fingers firm at my gun when I finally release the safety from it and take aim. Not at him, but at this man. He's his friend, isn't he? Doesn't matter. He won't let someone he cares about be harmed. My finger on the trigger is more than itching to shoot, but I hold back. Sure, I could have simply taken aim at him. But more than seeing him bleed, I want to see the expression on his face once he realizes everything he's doing is futile. He's trapped. A life's in my hand. His life's in my hand.
Had I known there would be a party in my own home tonight, I would have opened a bloody bottle or two. People these days, in my own home. Can you believe it? I feel so left out.
I can tell the exact moment the realization dawns on him. A short second of his body freezing and blood draining from his face as soon as his feet hits the floor and he looks up. He's already a prey, trapped by his own recklessness.
Pathetic.
And you, again. How many times do you have to come back to this place?
Sir, this isn't what you're thinking. Something ain't right here.
Well, obviously, people are trespassing in my home. What's your excuse? Checking back if your clients are doing okay? Is that it? Is this what this is? Oh, we're doing good, by the way.
Please, sir.
Oh, please what?
We ain't here to harm you or anything. We're just here to help.
Not a good excuse, especially coming from you. Let's simplify it. You people are the ones who need to get out of my sight. I swear the people of this city need to be taught the meaning of privacy. This is how you want to start the week. Why don't we just go with a bloody massacre if we want to surprise people in their homes, huh?
It's just a passing remark, of course. I'm not stupid enough to do something that'll bring negative attention to myself. Reputation and all that. I can't just risk it. The thought of having more dead bodies here, it's already quite too much. It'll literally be overkill, especially for someone like me. Nevertheless, joke or not, Feathers wastes no time drawing his own gun at the slight wave of my own, even if he knows it's already too late. Okay, we can skip a little bit here.
Ash!
There we go. In the next second he falls, down on one knee, desperately trying to keep himself up with what strength he has left. But eventually his own body caves in, taking the horrified Wog down with him, muttering quietly to him as something distinctly red flows from his body. Blood? This man isn't supposed to be dead yet. He isn't supposed to. I didn't shoot him, I'm sure of it. So what killed him? What in bloody blazes is going on here? Is it so wrong to just want a quiet night where nothing needs attending to? Just one normal night. Quickly, everything has turned crazy with perilous happenings that are hard to explain. But it seems that when it comes to me, death is always around the corner. I want to look him over. This is going to cause more problems. All this screaming and crying for a detective who's died for no apparent reason is giving me a migraine. I need to get all these people out of my house one way or the other. All one of them. But in the blurry mess of my vision, none of this registers enough to compel my body to move. Nothing does. Except for the voice unexpectedly ringing above the discord, and when I finally gather the strength to look up, everything falls away into the background. All that matters is her.
I told you, didn't I? Everything you're doing is useless, Ashton Frey. And now, you're dying. Meddlesome fool.
Hannah? You're not supposed to be here.
For a moment, I wonder if it had been me who had died and not her. After all, that can be the only logical explanation as to why I hardly draw breath while she stands there. Of course, another logical explanation would be that I'm high and this is a really, really bad trip. Either reason doesn't suit me. Though it can't very well be the former. Even from down here, I can see the blood that stains her dress. Seeing that makes me feel as if my hands are covered in them once more. Warm and sticky, sweet and sickly.
Oh, Luke, darling, my love. You look so upset. Are you not happy to see me?
But let's be honest here. Any explanation, any reason as to why a dead woman walks once more is a bad one to me. Especially when it's one that I've killed. I mean, how even?
How can this be? You're...
Do you not find my presence desirable anymore, my love?
What sort of sick joke is this?
Tell me what's wrong, my dear prince. Does my presence leave you so speechless?
She says with a smile on her face, stiff and forced. A dead body's parts doesn't seem as malleable as they would be on a living human. She takes a step forward and her movements are stiff and choppy. Like a corpse being forced into position despite the rigor mortis. Like the corpse that she should be. I find my voice once more when she takes a careful step forward. Just the thought of that thing approaching just makes my skin crawl. She stops to listen, fixated on my voice and on my words.
No, you're not. You're not supposed to be here. You can't be here. You're dead.
The "I killed you" is left unsaid, considering present company.
And I have returned. For you. You don't have to do this. You can still have it all, Luke. Just please, don't you love me? We would have been so beautiful.
I can still hear her pleas as she begs me not to be rid of her. Not once have I forgotten this particular crime of my own. No matter how much I wash my hands, I can still see her blood on them. She's dead. That is an irrefutable fact, and nothing short of the devil would bring her back.
Why are you acting this way, my love? Does this not make you happy?
I feel like there's something lodged in my throat, and my heart feels like it's being sat on with how tight my chest feels.
Of course I'm happy to see you again, Hannah. Of course I love you, Hannah. But how do I know you're... How do I know you're you, darling?
Whatever do you mean? You look perturbed. Why not come here? I can make you feel better.
If by act of some malevolent god she was back, I don't think she would take too kindly to what I had done to her. This certainly isn't what I would expect. Not the fixated gaze or these loving words. There is no accusation in them, no anger, when Hannah has every right to look at me so. My guilt is overshadowed by the oddity of these illogical circumstances.
No, stay where you are, stay back! Don't go near me! Don't touch me!
Okay. Well, time to see what happens when it's just Z-Man and Luke. Alright. It is that rejection which turns her expression absolutely fearsome and everything turns to complete and utter shite. We both have our fists raised, let's go. Hannah's body shudders and shakes as if she's about to have a seizure, until her visage ripples and changes. Golden yellow hair is slowly stained with inky black, and her face melts into that of the woman, the maid from before, with a menacing expression on her face. Along with it is the shifting of the very ground we stand on. It's a slow thing, A whisper more than a bang as the darkness creeps into every corner of the room. The walls shudder and groan. Blood runs from the ceiling, crawls down the walls, and stains the floor. It feels as if life itself is being sucked from the house slowly but surely. The beauty of the place is gone, with only the dead, decaying remains of a mansion left in its wake. I don't have to wonder if it is just the foyer that's become this nightmarish place. I can already hear it. Gone are the growling of thunder and the lashings of rain and wind against the foyer's high windows. All of it has been replaced by a more grating sound. A cacophony of voices from nowhere and everywhere echoing throughout the now horrid walls. Voice that neither belongs to us nor the people who live here.
What's going on?
Help! Please!
All throughout the house, shouts of alarm and surprise ring out, a mirror to the horror creeping up in each of us. Who wouldn't be shocked? This is insane. Meanwhile, Steele holds his ground. Brave of him, I have to admit, to not run at the first sign of danger. Though it doesn't necessarily mean he doesn't feel the same fear as the rest of us. I'm not sure how he can even keep himself together, having witnessed the death of a friend. Not that he has any other choice in this. There seems to be no end in sight to this insanity. If anything, this only feels like it's the beginning of the end.
Help me! Oh my god! Please, somebody! Anybody! Who are you? Stay away!
No. Stay away. Stay away.
I'm not afraid of you, you spook. This is one Scotswoman. You aren't getting into an early grave without a fight.
We would have been so beaut. Mother of God, pray for us sinners. We're all in danger. I thought you were my friends. Why don't you believe me?
That line, huh?
I'm sorry.
Their screams fill the mansion. She laughs all the while, a harsh, agonizing sound that goes on for what feels like forever. Until there is nothing but silence, her horrid smile, and pale hands reaching out to me. Can we skip till we're sucked in? No, not yet. Calling, beckoning, pleading. I'm terrified. I really am, like I should be, but I have never been one to truly stay afraid. I've long learned that fear will not get me anywhere. Cowering in a corner doesn't keep me safe, and it will not keep me alive. Not like rage does. I've learned to use this burning hate inside of me to survive. There's no difference now.
Stay away from me!
Why? Why do you wish to leave? This is where you belong, my lord. Remember the blood you shed. The very same one that now taints this house, along with many others.
I did not do this, you lie! I did nothing!
What of her then? Your wife, your sunshine. Doesn't her blood already stain these halls? Stain your hands?
Hey now, Mr. Wright. I know the situation ain't good, but we have to calm down.
I don't think that was your line, Zach, but continue.
You're the one who... You killed her. Your own wife!
Poor Zach.
She's lying!
The word sounds so familiar. Just a few days ago, I've spouted the same ones at that vile woman who ruined everything. If it weren't for that munter, that harlot. But it's no use. A seed has already been planted in his head. Defending myself, especially against the likes of him, is pointless. Yet I still continue. I'm not even sure why. I can easily dispose of him now that he knows. Somehow, proving this vile creature wrong seems to have heavier weight than the former.
I don't know what she's talking about.
Now you deny it. Pointing fingers, aren't we? You see, my love, no difference. No difference, you and I. Just like the rest of us. Just like every single soul in this putrid wreck. We've waited for so long. You can hear them, yes? Their pleas, their calls, their invitation. Come, my lord. The house seeks its master.
She, the monster, reaches out again. Her hands a gory, abhorrent sight, along with that smile spread across her face. My body's already moving on instinct. stumbling back, one step at a time in a desperate bid to be away from her. Anything to put distance between me and this vile creature. No matter what she says, I am nothing like her. I need to get out of this house. Out of this country, preferably. There's nothing for me here. Not anymore. Nothing to keep tied to this place. With Hana gone, Shogun likely taken by this woman as well, nothing's left to bind me to this wretched city. I can leave. I can... My foot steps on something, sending me sliding on my back and flat on the floor. Beside me, a paper, familiar one, flutters down. It's this thing again from the open house, though it feels less like a gimmick and more like a threat, what with recent events. It must have fallen from the detective in the commotion earlier, and with its owner having met a gruesome death, now it simply bears its equally grisly message for everyone in the room to see. Help me. Help me. Help me. Is this it? What they've been telling us? Why everything in my life has gone to shite? Because of some stupid old letter? An invitation indeed. One I am not willing to accept. Not any time. From the top of the stairs, the creature moves again, drawing my attention back to her. Her gait remains slow and awkward as she walks forward, that smile never leaving her. But I won't give her the chance. I am not dying here. I certainly am not giving myself to a hideous creature like her either. Adrenaline kicks in, and despite panicked gasps and worried glances from Steele, I pay him no mind as I reach for the main door, and... Without warning, it slams open, revealing not the mansion grounds like I am expecting. Before my mind can even comprehend what's happening, black tendrils have already coiled tightly around my limbs, dragging every person in the foyer into the room. None of us even get to scream when darkness completely envelops us upon the doors closing.
Understand where your place is now, my love. You belong here. Is it so difficult to grasp? We've been waiting.
Okay, Zach. What do you have to say in this moment? There's a moment of panic when the feeling of the tendrils around my limbs finally dissipates. As soon as my eyes adjust to the darkness of the room and I'm on my feet, I'm reaching for my knife and holding it out, watching, waiting for every movement. Using it as a way to put distance between me and this peasant. Who knows what Steele can do to me? Now that he knows what I've done. There's only two of us in this room. He can easily do anything and the world will not know. Of course, I can easily overpower him. It'll take some bit of effort, but I want to believe I am able to. He doesn't look like he can hold a fight on his own. But what if he's in cahoots with the creature? Fuck. I cannot trust him not to turn on me. I cannot trust anyone. Not anymore. Not after this. Everything that I've built has fallen apart. All because these people came into our lives.
You! This is all your fault! If I'm dying to this bloody curse, I'm taking you down with me!
Hey now, Mr. Wright. I know the situation ain't good, but we have to calm down.
That's when the line should have been.
We're all in the same boat here.
You shut your mouth! If it weren't for you, for this letter, none of this would have happened! Hana would still be...
Suddenly, Steele steps up and slaps the knife away from my hand. No.
I think that's enough, Mr. Wright. Playing the blame game won't do us any good.
I like that pose. Without batting an eye, glaring at me as if he might just rip my head off in this instant, said knife slides uselessly under the table out of my reach. I should have expected he's not the kind to submit even under threat. Right now, all of us appears smaller. By all, I mean me, facing his disapproval. He thinks he can intimidate me. Bloody peasant! My head's already aching just listening to this. Does he take me for someone with half a brain? I should have just stabbed him and made a run for it. It doesn't help that with each second we spend talking here, the crazier this whole place gets. Okay. Are we burning the house, the letter? What's happening here? Okay. Trapped in the mansion with someone he barely knew. The voices have also become louder and somehow sounding more vicious. If the things in this room start floating, mark my words, I will fucking flip out. And he may not be thinking of it right now, but eventually. Eventually, he'll turn on me. Such is the nature of humans. I can't let that happen. Fuck, I still have so much to do! Better find a way out of this place as soon as possible if I want to stay alive. And what else is the source of our problem but that sodding letter? Burning this doesn't seem sound, but who knows? We don't understand a shite about this place. Might as well try everything, yeah? Whatever works. If I also have to be the one to make that bloody decision, so be it. And it's an easy decision to make, especially with these cries growing louder. I'm getting tired of it, really. I simply have to act fast, think fast. And what else is the root cause of our problems but that letter? No need to make things more complicated. It started from there, why won't it end there? Before the situation can stretch on far too long for my taste, I take out Mum's lighter. The sight of it brings a puzzled expression in his face. But I have no need for his opinion. In the next moment, I'm already setting the letter on fire. Interesting. So with Bella, he set the house on fire. With Zachary, he sets the letter on fire. And it doesn't take too long for the thing to catch fire. It's old, for heaven's sake. Though I make sure none of the ashes end up on anything flammable. It'll be an inferno inside the study, with all the books and documents stored here. Not that a big flame's anything to worry about in this case. In fact, in a matter of minutes, the damn thing has turned to ashes on the floor. With nothing left to burn through, the fire dies. Fades into thin air and a whiff of smoke, leaving only the awful scent of burnt paper in the room. But as the last of the paper turns into cinders, a sharp, agonized wail echoes from somewhere in the mansion before quickly dying out, taking with her the horror she has brought upon the mansion. Slowly, before our eyes, the mansion changes again. Blood fading from the walls, ceilings, and the floor, returning the place to its old beauty. Gone is the darkness, quickly replaced by the artificial lights in the room. Even the smell of blood and gore has completely disappeared from the room. Perhaps the only thing undesirable left is the dumbfounded look I'm being given. It must be nice to live such a mundane existence.
See? Wasn't that easy? For fuck's sake, you need to get your poor head checked! How did you make it this far in life with that kind of thinking?
What kind of thinking? I didn't say anything.
Well, you can thank me later for this. You may now show yourself off my property before I call the police on you.
My friend died here, sir. I walk out of the study without a single glance back, more than eager to finally get fresh air. He can find his way out of this place, I'm sure. I better not catch him again here, though, or I will not be happy. I'm already being nice as it is. Outside, there's only silence. Deafening. Still. The same hush that comes after a terrible storm has swept the countryside. And with it, from the wide open windows, is the sight of the sun rising above the horizon. Ever so slowly, the sky begins to lighten before my eyes. Darkness giving way to the warm morning hues, soft rays spilling over the vast expanse of Luxburn's countryside. Nearby, the trees sway and rustle with the breeze, a passing draft that carries even into this room from outside, cold enough to make me shiver. The remains of a storm that has passed. In the distance, I can hear the soft chirping of birds while the rest of the world stirs, wakes. Dawn at last. We are free. Okay. Well, neither of them died. I'll make a save there. Okay, so he left. Melancholia. Although Zachary Steele tries to cope, losing his closest friends, his second family, takes a considerable toll on his well-being. Is this the picture from when they had their scalloped potatoes and stuff? Kind of looks like it. Little by little, he becomes reclusive, refusing help from his own family, once again ignoring calls from Dr. Navarro until it all but stops. Look at all the pills he's taking, too. Eventually, he gives up photography, much to the disappointment of the people fond of his work. Nowadays, he simply spends his days staring at the old photographs, images of what used to be, of happier days that will never be. Wow. Poor Zach, he just, like, completely broke. as a person. I mean, understandable. He lost all his friends, but man, even his own family couldn't help him out of that. Let's see what we've got. I think Bella's is basically the same, because we still have these that need to be unlocked. Hana is at 89. Luke's at 22. But we've got Ashton at 63. That's not too shabby. Okay, this is part of Hana's other ending. That's good. Zachary. Let's see. Okay. I'm pretty sure we unlocked some more nodes with Zach. Yeah, okay. Definitely got some more stuff going there. Which is great. Don't know what that is. I wonder what that one is, too. Okay, so I didn't die this time. Marianne. Still missing... She only has one node, I think, that's left. And we have to be eavesdropping on a certain conversation, so that's going to be later. Don't know what that one is, either. Okay, Rebecca, 76%. We did a lot with Rebecca. Can't remember what we were before this, actually, but we definitely unlocked quite a bit of stuff with Rebecca. There's still these little things here and there, though. And then there's all this. Whatever that is. Ha ha. Oof. Oof is all I have to say to that. And we finally got ending 2 variant B, so that was good. Don't know what that is. Haven't even touched up there yet. Ashton is at 63. Okay, so we should have unlocked a completely new node at one point along here. So we skipped a lot of stuff. And then we went down. Yeah, so this is a big one. Zachary being alive. This is probably if Becca's alive or not. And then we go back up and we skip a bunch of stuff. We come back down. Yeah, and now we unlock this one, which is probably only Zach's alive. So we worked on that whole node, which is great. Unlocked one of the butterflies here. I don't know what that one is. And then we went up and avoided a lot of stuff that time. And then just ignored that little butterfly, went swiftly down, and went up and unlocked some of this, whatever that is. Who knows? And then we went back down. Down, down, down. Then up. Man, we were up, down, and all around this time. Then we skipped a bunch of stuff. Unlocked some more stuff, then nothing here yet. Then went back up again. Okay, then we started on this thing, whatever that is. Something to do with Zach. And then we somehow, like, did both of these things. And went down again, and finally made our way to Luke. Luke, not too much. There was a couple of things that got unlocked with him. We avoided his bad end. He got off scot-free again. Oh, that's nice. Look at that. All those butterflies are open now. Sweet. We do love to see that. Okay, some progress was made there. And then we went down. Unlocked some stuff there. Okay, and then we went down. Unlocked some stuff there. Then we went back up. Back up. And then we skipped everything. Whatever all of that is. Whatever all of that is. It's just not touched this time. Okay. And then at some point we finally went back down. And started working on this stuff. There's so much involved here. And then we went back up again. I think we just skipped everything till the end, didn't we? Well, there was a little bit. Goodness gracious me. Alright. Well, there you have it. That was our latest run through the letter. Thank you guys for joining me for Zach staying alive this time. It was definitely some really sad moments to be had for sure this run. And we made some more progress on our branching trees, so I'll take it. With that, that means our next run will be keeping Miss Marianne McCulloch alive and well, so we'll see how Luke fares with keeping her around. I am curious how that will go. It'll probably be a very fast one, I'd imagine, but who knows? I may be surprised. We'll find out together, hopefully. But for now, I'm off. So thanks again for joining me, guys, and until next time, I will see you later.